Oh, wait. What did we just watch?
Yeah, I was going to get to that. All right. I guess you're going to start off. Mob Psycho 100, episode 12, the final episode for the season, so it would seem. And it started off, well, obviously, from episode 11 with Reagan getting, like, cut in the back.
Yeah.
And we pretty much thought he was dead. Mm-hmm. And he would have until something happened.
He got 1,000% mob protection.
In Pokemon terms, it's the helping hand. But yeah, he got this like major power, which made him go to 1,000% Reagan. And oh my god, wow.
Is this a toy? Can you stop messing with toys here? You're an adult.
Just totally creamed everyone.
It was sad.
It was kind of disappointing in the sense that I don't know what I guess I was expecting Mob to really go 100, but it actually didn't go that way, which was very interesting. So it was very anticlimactic as far as that, but I think it had a bit of charm to it for the path it took.
It did. It shined a new light on Reagan.
Yeah. And well, obviously it wasn't like a permanent like power for Reagan. It was just like very temporary. And then just when he was about to lose all of his power, who's the boy? The boy who was like one of the experiments.
I can't remember his name at all.
In the varsity jacket.
Redhead?
Yeah.
Jerk?
Yeah. One of the experiments that so happened to work. So he was basically there not just as an experiment or trainee, but he was there just like inspecting the organization.
7th Division.
Right. And so after seeing like they weren't as all big as they ought to have seemed, he just kind of got rid of the leader and kind of left us like with a little cliffhanger as to maybe the second season. Most likely the second season, as we'll probably follow him as the main protagonist or antagonist, as well as his father, which we see later on. But yeah.
Maybe at the end of the second season, it'll be the end of the show, and we get to see the opening fight from the first episode.
Yeah.
That's what I'm excited for.
See how that all turns out. And so after the fight, everyone just comes out there like unscathed. Even Reagan, like, I want to know what happened to the other Claw members, the ones who just got talked down by Reagan.
They just left, probably.
Just like,
yeah, they went home and cried to their mommies.
We're just commoners. That was so bad.
I am more powerful than you, and I'm a commoner.
Get rid of those shoulder pads. He's like, oh.
These were from a noble. Like, noble my ass.
That was so funny.
Gosh.
But yeah, after that, it kind of showed like what all the other characters were doing. Ritsu was always going to be the supportive brother. Taruki decided to go and help train the other espers who got out the Claw Division's base to see if we can try train them. And so that's what he's doing. Has a cut hair now, so that's nice.
And that girl is crushing hard on him.
Yeah.
Ray, I think her name was.
Yeah, something like that, yeah. And then Mob is still with Reagan doing like as if it was just episode 1. It's kind of weird that like that. I thought things would only continue to escalate, but it kind of kept itself to its normal roots. So pretty much kind of reset itself, so it's ready for a new season whenever that'll come.
All that hype, like this whole show was based on hype, yet simultaneously the whole thing was understated. Not just the climax. Like all of the fight, like all of the featured evil spirits, like they had their debut for 2 seconds, and like of all the like nerdy talk that they'll give it for an exposition, like, oh, this so-and-so does this and that, which means that it's so powerful that this and this. 2 seconds, it's over. I don't like that because it was so creative what they did with all.
That's what the show's about. The creator, one, he's known for parody shows where the hero is just too strong.
Yeah.
Too strong. So
like that's fine, but for all that art and all that creativity and ingenuity he put into the antagonists, he could have gave them more screen
Have you seen
time.
One Punch Man? No. Give it a watch. It's the same thing. He puts a lot of art, effort, and story into these antagonists that are there for about an episode and a half.
Yeah.
They're like...
See, an episode and a half is way longer. Like, I'm... literally, it's 5 seconds. You count to 5, and this big, colorful, weird-looking spirit is gone. I didn't like that.
Because the first actual boss that he fought, he was kicking his ass for like 2 episodes. And then this whole upper echelon was 3 or 4 episodes.
Oh, no, I'm just talking about the spirits.
If we're talking about small fries, then yeah, in One Punch Man, he'll go through about 6 of them in an episode. They'd be like, rah, da, 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 boom! Man, that was annoying. And then he goes on with his day.
Yeah.
And then there's another enemy. I'm here even better than that guy. Boom. God, there's a lot of people today.
Yeah, just doing it as a hobby.
Yeah.
That's like a tease.
He goes through like 2 bad guys in the first few episodes, each episode.
I think it's just like a different mindset, like a different, what would I say? Something that one wants the people to feel. Something different. It's not your traditional, like, development of, like, characters.
It's not a shonen anime. It's a parody. It's not, man, this is a really strong enemy. I'm going to fight them. Oh, they're so strong. I have to get stronger. And then fight them again. We're going to battle out for 4 episodes. It's
really not about it being as linear as that. You have so many options to give your work more of a debut. Like,
well, when you're the most powerful thing around, there's really nothing.
Like I said, not that linear. Like, the spirits could have been fighting each other. Like, there's so many things that they could have done with that.
But then it wouldn't have been about Mob.
It's really not about Mob.
It is.
It's not like it diverged from Mob.
How?
By leading into more emphasis on a redhead bully and
What do you mean by putting
Reagan.
more emphasis on redhead bully and Reagan?
Yeah, toward the end. It was not like about Mob.
It was about Mob.
No.
Yes, it was.
Like, other than the fact that like obviously it had something to do with him, but for the most part he's just been like hanging back.
Well, it still remains the fact that like Mop is the main protagonist of the show, but it doesn't necessarily mean every episode will revolve around him. Moreover, like,
look at Dragon Ball Z. Not every episode is
it's about Goku. It's about Vegeta getting that nice sweet high spotlight,
and then Krillin having an episode, and then like Gohan having 6 episodes, and then Videl having 2 episodes, and then hey, Goku for half an episode.
There you go.
And then everyone else for like 7 episodes, and then Goku kills the bad guy, and then everyone does their own thing.
I'm not sure like if it's exactly one's like feeling to do this, but like definitely highlight other characters, give them more depth, like specifically on these characters, not like the villains, because we already know that they are still not as strong as Mob. So where does the emphasis go? It will be on Mob, and it'll be on the people he's influenced or is influencing. So, and it's kind of hard for me because like this is also because it is a parody, and I'm still not quite used to this kind of genre, especially like in this type of format where it kind of like derives like an actual meaning to it instead of just it's all fun and laughs. There's actually a theme to it. There's a moral of the story.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So I think it's just like a different way of presenting things. As far as the characters, it's nice to like, see the characters like add more to this universe, give them more character. It's just again like Steven.
I'm sorry, it's just I feel like throwing up now. Somebody found a chicken head
Okay. But yeah.
It looks nasty.
It was, I would say like, I would say that this episode was actually kind of underwhelming in that sense. Like, again, I was kind of expecting Mob to like go full 100, but like, you know, Reagan stole the show. I'm not mad about that. It was funny.
The ending.
Yeah.
It was very...
It found a very convenient way to like reset itself. So it's ready for whatever else happens.
Well, it really seems like there's nothing interesting about the city at all. It's just something happened to happen. And that was just like the big excitement.
Yeah. But otherwise, it's just like a regular day with Mob and like Reagan, for example.
It's like living in a small town in the Midwest. Like once a year, the circus comes to town. It's the biggest festival you could think of, where the entire Tri-City area goes to it. And then once it's over, everyone goes back home to their fields and does nothing for another year.
It kind of makes you reflect on your own life. Something big happens, and then you just go home and everything's just back to normal again.
Yeah, pretty much.
It's kind of sad. But yeah, I'd be interested to seeing another season, see where it'd pop up, or where would it go, especially with the kid and his father, and just see like
with his stupid father.
Hoyaji. But yeah, you guys have anything else to add to this?
That guy, the leader of the 7th Division.
Just like super old.
Yeah, that's
super
the whole
old,
like
super ugly, super. Hey.
I'm glad that the bald guy was just like, I thought he was a girl.
Yeah.
I was like, I was thinking
so old. The dude's like, he's so old. Yeah, I thought he was a girl.
Yeah, he was the reason why I made that whole comment about like I wanted to see more of the enemies because they're really, really interesting.
They had like 4 episodes.
Well, I mean, I guess as far as like their own personal like drive and stuff like that, like the guy who was like the katana dude, you know, like he had like a cool thing, like where it's like he cursed his sword, this like toy sword, and it became like really strong. Actually, that was pretty interesting. Mm-hmm. I would like to see just a little bit more about that, and maybe some of the experience for the redhead dude, just see like what he's been through. But maybe we'll see that later on. Everything. But otherwise, I feel like, I mean, you could develop more on like why they do these things, and it kind of goes back to like why Taruki was how he was before Mob fought him. That he was like on top of the world, he could do all these other things. He was like at the hierarchy level than everyone else. And then like Mob fought him. Well, first of all, we got to see like his perspective on like how he sees the world, and then Mob just kind of like sizes him down, brings him to his level, and he's like realized like I'm really nothing at all. And that's kind of the same thing that happened in this episode too, is that a lot of the Claw members were like, oh, we're just commoners. Of course, that was Reagan's helping him out with that, but yeah.
You're not a special snowflake.
Yeah. I think that's what I found as far as the theme for Mob Psycho is that something as special as like psychic powers is just another human characteristic. It doesn't make you less human. It's just something that you embrace. And
that's like exactly what Reagan said when he took in Mob in the office.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Just
like
be a kind person.
Like
That's all you can
psychic powers are just another like characteristic or something.
I also like rewatched it and said like it's like someone who's like really smart or someone who has really bad body odor.
Yeah.
It's just a characteristic.
Yeah.
It doesn't make you less human. You gotta be a kind person.
Yeah.
I know I smell bad. I'll keep a distance away. Will that make you feel better? You're such a kind, considerate person.
Please don't let my ugliness interfere with you watching your movie.
Not all, boy. Dude. Oh, that's fun, Bob. All right, but I guess that's pretty much it. So until we see maybe a second season or whatever thing we decide to watch, thank you guys so much for watching. We'll see you guys in the next one. #bye.
Bye.